Here we go. What's up, my tokers, jokers, and smokers? Welcome back to another edition of the Deliciously Dope's Daily Chronicles with your host, Chef Rodney 117. Hi! Today, we have a true American hero. Our next guest was born and raised in the suburbs of Philadelphia. You know, he's the oldest of 7 children. That's a big family, y'all. You know, growing up, he dedicated most of his time to martial arts, baseball, and basketball. So sports, very athletically, driven. Shortly after graduating high school, he enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Now, he participated in several advanced infantry and special operations schools. Yo, that's crazy. Before the age of 22, he led over 500 combat patrol supports in Operation Iraqi Freedom. That's absolutely insane. You know, he completed his enlistment in 2008, but he didn't stop there. You know, he achieved the rank of Staff Sergeant 0369 for those of you who know what that means. He's a decorated combat veteran. He's been recognized for his actions and superior leadership while serving in the support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. He went on to study biology at Bucks, County Community College, and then civil engineering at Drexel University. In 2012, Pearson graduated with honors with from Executive Security International's Executive Protection Program. That is a mouthful. It's insane. I mean, just the amount of stuff that he does. Now, he went on to lead in the creation of the Hanson Project, which is a multifaceted veterans community, focused on ending the local homelessness and suicide rates. I mean, it's absolutely insane. These people laid down their lives, for the country that they can't even, get any help when they go to the VA, man. He was featured in High Times magazine, in April 2007 for his work. Seeing there was a crucial need for transportation services in the industry, he then founded his first company, which specialized in the professional delivery of cannabis products and cash for licensed business-to-business only. That's absolutely insane. I do not think that I can do this gentleman justice anymore with this type of introduction. So without any other further ado, I give you guys the American hero, Mr. Pearson R. Kennedy-Crosby. How you doing, buddy? How you doing?
Thanks. I wouldn't, one of those things.
You're all right.
I'm a hero, but I know a few, Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. I appreciate having you, man. It looks like it's pretty early in the morning there.
Yeah, it's 9:20, so we're getting out of the dark days. 3 weeks ago, it would be the sun would be coming up like this around like 11:30. So we had like 3 hours of daylight at one point of the year, so that's fun.
It's insane. I got to ask you though, man. So let's talk about this this delivery company that you started.
Yeah, so I came up here like 5.5 years ago. Got into the industry helping with solidifying the legal recreational cannabis up in Alaska. Made some friends, saw that it's a unique situation up here. We're spread across a state 2.6 times larger than Texas. Might be 2.4, I don't know. Either or. It's big. So we have 90% of the cannabis is produced or manufactured up in Fairbanks, where I'm at, and 90% is consumed in Anchorage, which is 360 miles south of us.
Okay.
Being that with regulations, you can't just carry on, 100 pounds of cannabis on a plane. TSA doesn't really like that. But if you got about 8 pounds, you can get on. It's weird
that they draw the line there. You know what I mean?
Well, it's carry on. Sorry, my puppy.
Look at the puppy.
Yeah,
look at him. You can't be sad around a puppy like that. You know what I mean? That's a good boy right there.
I'm never sad. Yeah. So it was something that people didn't like doing. I mean, obviously, it was a 7-hour ride to your first stop if you have sales going in Wasilla or Anchorage. So, being that I had a pretty significant background in security and motorcade operations, I decided to, take a dive into cannabis transport.
The next logical step, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I started doing that. I started doing that solo, and I was putting in like anywhere from 1,400 to 20, all the way up to 2,500 miles in like a week. And it wasn't like a simple like drop off. You had to go in. You had to there's pages of documentation that you have to have. I was hand counting like hundreds of thousands of dollars a week, and just making sure you got a bunch of clients and you got to make sure all their money comes back with 20, 30 stops. It got kind of, it is difficult. 19 hours. My first day was usually like 19 hours of driving with stops. So it was hardcore.
Now, a good quick question, if you don't mind, because this fascinates me, because here in Michigan, we have very similar laws. Obviously I'm allowed to, on my person, only have, 2.5 ounces. But if I were to, you can't just sell 2.5 ounces at a dispensary. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how that works. So obviously you have transportation services here as well. One of the things that I, am curious about are these, so with the transportation service, obviously you're very familiar with armed weapons. Are you armed when you do this?
Yes.
Okay, smart. I think that's very smart. I really, appreciate people that have discipline with firearms. My father is he's an Army veteran, and he taught me the business end of a rifle, if you know what I mean. So I think that it would be smart when you're doing some kind of transportation of goods / money, even, you know what I mean, that you would be armed. So I'm very appreciative to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, money. You don't have to sell the weed to get them. You're robbing somebody. You're typically not just going to smoke the whole heist or whatever you get out of it. You have to sell it for money, and if you can just get money, that's one step out of the way.
I mean, they're both green, but they're both untraceable once they disappear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the ride isn't exactly going through like the East Coast corridor. It's you're going through Denali National Park. You're driving through blizzards and terrible weather. And that was like a regular thing for me. I think I got to experience the worst weather in the world almost every time. First, I remember my first trip. I was so nervous because it's still a federal offense, and I was driving with nearly $100,000 worth of concentrates and black ice for like 100 miles. I couldn't go over 15 miles an hour. So. Yeah,
we shouldn't have ice road truckers anymore. We should have Alaskan marijuana transportation. That's what we should have. Real quick question, if you don't mind.
No problem.
What was the biggest like client or payoff?
What do you mean? Like, what was the?
What's the most you've carried at one time?
Probably $500,000 worth.
Whew. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, you better take a firearm with you if you're dealing with something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it's no, I mean, it's no joke. It took a while to get insured for that, also, and a lot of money. It was like 30. I think it was like $40,000, $43,000 up front to get concealed carry or get alligator insurance, aggregate insurance for carrying and insuring other parties' products. So it was, it's one of those things where I knew it was something I could do, and not many people were doing it because all these risks. It really was crazy. Like 30 minutes of the drive, there's no self-service. So like, I don't know. I started like renting cars, like different cars each week, because each week on the same day I had to drive. So and Anchorage isn't the best neighborhood in some places. So it was definitely a logistical nightmare, and I racked up like 130,000+ miles doing it. So I was glad to get out unscathed, and no shit. I didn't get a speeding ticket, notice violation, which notice violation in the recreational world are like you do something against regulations and enforcement catches you, or hopefully you'll just admit to it and kind of get a lesser offense. Like, I don't know if Michigan has metric system, which is like a marijuana tracking.
I believe we do. Yes, I believe we do.
Yeah,
if not something similar, yeah.
I would expect to. So they're real specific about that. I'm assuming everywhere, not just here, but it's one of those things where it's like, how are you going to account for black ice or blizzards or road work or tourists? Because the main road that you're going down is the main road that connects all of Alaska, really. So you could be sitting in road work in the summer for hours on end. Literally, I think I was sitting in road work or car. I sat in a motorcycle accident for like 6 hours. And you can't divert off course. Like you're on a strict route, and if you get caught or something happens and you're off route, like you're in some shit. So it was a stressful occupation. I'm glad that I got out of it without losing anybody's money or getting killed while I did it. So
there you go. Now I was reading about everything that you've done, man, and that is a track record right there. That's hell yeah. And in my eyes, a person that does what you do, and that's where we would use the term hero. It's something that people can look at. And again, thank you for your service, bud. Seriously. I was curious about the you're a huge, strong advocate, for medical marijuana, but you were with the Veterans Court in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Did you guys deal with a lot of cannabis issues there, like people that were, veterans that were caught with marijuana, or is there a story for there?
No, not really. Not cannabis, really.
Okay.
It was more. It was more drug-related offense, like real, like hard drugs.
Okay.
Shit, so I'm a graduate of the Philadelphia Veterans Court, and the program saved my life. Quite literally saved my life. And there's a couple other factors that were going on in my life that assisted with it, but the threat of going to jail definitely helped me out and persuading me to do better. When I got out, I was pretty fucked up from. Sorry, I'm not supposed to.
You're all right. By all means, man. By all means.
So
we'll just have to apologize to Nana. That's about it.
I'll give her a handwritten letter.
Yeah.
So I got out. I've been in a couple blasts. One specifically that really got me. We had a suicide bomber. We had a dude run our gate and committed suicide as he blew up the bongo truck in the front gate of our entry checkpoint in Baghdadi, Iraq. When that happened, I was sitting on a bunk bed with my buddy, another Marine. We were watching Office Space right when they were beating up like the fax machine or the copy machine, and next thing I know, I'm on like 10 feet from where I was, waking up in a dusty room in our combat outpost. We had a platoon-sized element in Al Anbar, Baghdadi, Iraq, and I was in boots and utes, which is just like a t-shirt and your cami bottoms. So I wasn't in armor or anything, and it fucked me up pretty bad. So I get out, do my 4 years, and so I'm all beat up at like 21, 22. So I go to the VA. I walk out with some Percocet and some Klonopin, and that was the beginning of it. I have a list of my active prescriptions, and I think it goes something along the lines of OxyContin, MS Cotton, fentanyl patches, two different micrograms of fentanyl patches, Klonopin, Seroquel, oxycodone straight for breakthrough pain, and something else. But it's enough to kill you, me, and
it does not sound like they were trying to heal you. You understand?
No, I mean, this is a daily prescription for me. This is all these things that I just named were on an active prescription list. So I was supposed to take that shit every single day, all of them.
I'm sorry. It's
okay. I don't fault the doctors at all for it. They were doing what they thought they should be doing to create a comfortable life, not necessarily a productive life, but a comfortable life for someone who experienced some fucked up shit in a fucked up situation and was fucked up from it. There you go. There's the 3 fucked ups, or 4 now. Sorry.
You're all right.
I decided I wanted to get off all that stuff because you become a slave to your doctors. It's just like it's no different than being a junkie, waiting on your dealer to come all the time when you're on something that's really addictive and dangerous and deadly. So I kept on trying to get into rehab there at the VA hospital, and they kept on delaying it, or they'd call me in. It wasn't an easy trip down there. It was like a 20-minute drive without traffic, but there was always traffic in Philadelphia going down University City. They'd call me, they'd get me in, search me because I'm going into they have the mental ward and substance abuse clinic in the same. They're one and the same in the Philadelphia Veterans Hospital, which I'm not sure if it is anymore, but that was 7 years ago. And they'd be like, "Oh, well, you're not." They kept on trying to get me to say I'm suicidal, and I'm like, "No, I'm not suicidal. But I need to get off of this stuff because I'm going to die. I'm killing myself slowly, or this stuff is not. I mean, it works in some way, but it's not the lifestyle. I can't go on vacation. I can't even go down the Jersey Shore without having to, which is a short drive from Philadelphia, which there was no life there. Sorry, my puppy's whining.
You're all right. What's his name?
Maximus.
Maximus, I like it.
Yeah. It's all right.
But Philadelphia, yeah, you're all right. By all means, you should. If you tune into any of the past episodes of Deliciously Dope's Daily Chronicles, you'll notice that I have a husky and a big lab upstairs, and if I don't feed them their CBD treats before the show, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
You'll hear it.
If I was allowed to do that with the kids, I would probably do that, but that's apparently not okay. I would never do that. But yeah, so I tried to get into the rehab like 3 times, and they kept on, your bed was filled by someone that was suicidal. So it was like,
right.
I was like, that's a big deal, especially with the stuff that I do for a living. Like you can be on Oxycontin all day if the doctor prescribes it, but as soon as you say you're suicidal, you're not touching a weapon for the rest of your life.
Nope.
So I decided to go to the. They were like, "Oh, we can go to the methadone maintenance program," and I'm like, "Okay, well, what is that?" And I agreed to it, and that was even worse. That was like 6 days a week having to drive to the VA, take a sip of this nasty drink, like an hour and 20-minute drive both ways. Like, so your life is over pretty much. Your 40-hour work week is you driving to go get some drugs and then driving back. And
it was methadone.
Yeah, methadone. Yep.
That's not okay, man. That's, you know what I mean? It's.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're all right. It's a government drug that I believe that. Okay, listen. Having a similar background, not nearly as extensive as yours, man. And I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying, similar. Yeah. I was an alcoholic for years, man. I've always been a chef. I've always been a cook. I've tried to do other stuff, and I've had a lot of friends, and we know people that have passed away from methadone addictions and things of that nature. I was an alcoholic, I dabbled with other, with blow and weed and all that, in the kitchen. What do you do, and so
it's important.
Right. And so, trying to fix the situation and not want to be dependent on alcohol anymore for my happiness, I turned to doctors and, dude, similar to you, man, they gave me a laundry list of pills to take from Valium to Oxycontin. You feel me? And it was like all the way around the alphabet too. And it didn't fix the fucking problem. Sorry, Nana. You know what I mean? I was just like, yo, you're making me into a zombie. That's not what I do. I can't function at work. You're giving me methadones. You're giving me Valium and telling me, go ahead and put a knife in your hand and go to work. That's not how that works. So whereas, Marines, they cherish their rifle, us chefs, we cherish our knives. You know what I mean? We understand don't bring a knife to a gunfight, but at the same time, it's that service to that weapon, the service to the blade, the service to the gun. That's what it is. I don't think that giving somebody methadone and then, giving them a gun would be a good idea. Just my opinion.
Yeah, and I wasn't working at that time. I was really trying to get healed up. And so one thing led to another. For some reason, the federal police on VA property wouldn't ask the heroin and crack dealers to not come around the methadone clinic because there's a bunch of drug addicts. And
now that's interesting.
Yeah. There's I actually through one way or the other had a journalist from the Philadelphia Inquirer come and stake out the methadone clinic, because you'd go into the parking garage at the VA clinic or the VA hospital, and you go all the way down to the bottom, and then there's a separate building with the methadone clinic. It was like the only other building in the complex. And you'd have the line out the door all the way up to the sidewalk, and people would be selling crack and heroin in like right under the parking garage, like openly smoking crack on federal property, shooting dope. And one day I was just like, fuck this, I'm not waiting an hour to like if I get out of here in 20 minutes, I'll have a 40-minute drive home. If I get out of here in 45 minutes, I'll have a 2-hour drive home. So I copped a bag of heroin. One thing led to another.
Right.
Dipped out while I was driving. Came to a complete stop. Woke up in the roundhouse in Philadelphia. That's how I made it to Veterans Court. But it was needed. It was something that I had to go through. It was something that needed to happen in order for me to wise up, and I did. And Veterans Court really held my feet to the fire. And after that, I became a very, very strong advocate for Veterans Courts. I went back to the Philadelphia Veterans Court as a mentor. Got very active in that. Another Marine that I met there, Timmy Wynn, shout out to him. He's awesome. We started doing charities and like fundraisers to help out local veterans, homeless shelters and stuff. And from there, it was just like, well, this is a similar dopamine drop to the illicit drugs that we were so easily put on. And it was one of those things, being able to really give back to the community and being able to say that, like, I live.
So would you say that this is the beginning of where the Hanson Project started?
Oh, the Hanson Project. I guess that would be the beginning of me, of the road towards it. Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Timmy didn't like team up at that point. I really fed off of him, his sobriety, and I think he did mine also. And it wasn't like we were, 12-step program preachers or anything like that. It was just like, it is what it is. Sorry, I guess it's a person. It's a person in general. But
you're all right.
Don't tell me that.
What's up, Asher?
So yeah, it definitely set me up to the realization as this is what I want to do. I want to be able to give back. I'm lucky that I'm still alive. Might as well try to allow other people to, and for lack of other words, see the light, see that it's more. It feels better in the long run or on the daily to give back. Try to help people as best you can, because it makes you useful, and that I feel that's the point of life, is really to do good, and to do good for good reasons. I mean, anything anybody ever does is, you can always pull they did that for some good reason, but you can say it about liars, you can say it about thieves. They're doing it out of the goodness of their own selfish agenda, or goodness, as in something that's there to better the world in little ways. So it's
absolutely. Do you think that this has had a big effect on your community?
Yeah, I think I'm not in the market for pulling numbers or anything, but
right.
I have people that call me, that I still talk to on the regular, people that I've mentored, friends that were in rough positions that, have told me that they probably wouldn't be alive if I didn't see something in them. And usually it's, I'll get guys to do stuff. Like if there's for example, there's a World War II veteran up here in Fairbanks that had a tree come down on his house, And
ouch.
I rallied the troops. He was 96 at the time, so he wasn't pulling out a chainsaw and going on his roof. So got a bunch of them. We got a bunch of veterans. I call them GWAT veterans, Global War on Terrorism. So it's like Iraq and we did a lot of good there. I actually had another organization come up and like help like do his yard when the summer hit, and I made some good friends through it. And I always do. You really see the best in people when they're doing something, when they're working hard for something that isn't going to benefit them at all. Besides the feel good,
it's selfless work for sure.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it's selfless. You are not expecting anything in a material form to come back, and it's just good karma. And
there's actually a good philosophy that, if I may, it's very similar to it. It's Immanuel Kant said, if you do something for a person, if you do something good or a good act and you expect something in return, that actually makes you a bad person. But if you do something good just for the sake of being good, aka also being kind, that makes you a good person. And at the end of the day, I mean, we all want to be good people, right?
Yeah, good is a driving factor in the world. I was listening to, I'm big into audiobooks. I mean, like, literally, I bet you I'm over 200 now since COVID. I replaced all majority of music, and I'm always listening to books now. That and shit, I've taken so many courses too. It's been crazy. But,
right.
But I started, I restarted Aristotle's Ethics last night, and that's it. So that's the whole gist of it. Is any action is presumably done for some type of good, whether and not really. I can't think of anything in history, and that's including Hitler, that didn't go out with some form of thinking that you're going to do good. And is it good? Not necessarily in his case.
Well, in Hitler's case, obviously not good. The genocide of anybody is terrible. But, I look at it like it's a personal justification that they make. For some reason, they think it's good for whatever reason. We may not understand that. We may never know that. But something somewhere in their head has influenced them to be like, okay, this is a good idea. Genocide, never a good idea.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Right, the justifications, you were like, I don't want to be that person anymore, so.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. There is a good and a bad good, a selfish good and a horrendous, terrible good or what is suggested to be or they think is a good thing, and that's just all about the situation that people are put in, the capabilities of the leadership, or just, I mean, it's there's so many ways you can go. We can talk about it, but yeah, no, I didn't mean to bring up that bastard, but
you're all right. I mean, it's a good like bouncing board for that. You know what I'm saying? It's it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a pillar. Like you don't want to be like that.
Right.
So
how did it feel when you were featured in High Times magazine? Like, did that make you feel good?
Yeah. I guess I'm. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it is cool. I can definitely, like, if I'm sitting at a bar and somebody's like talking about cannabis, and I know they're like, I'm very familiar with like most states' laws and interactions with cannabis now. I'd like to think that I'm up to date with the latest and greatest, growing techniques, stuff like that. But It is definitely a card that I'll pull if somebody tries to be like, well, who the fuck are you? You know, when I'm talking about, I'm like, well, I was actually, you know.
Funny story. And then you show them the High Times. Yeah, you're like, oh, shit, okay.
I'll be like, well, I was actually featured in High Times for some work that I do. But it's, you know, it really helped me help more people. It helped me reach more people. It gave me some credentials or, you know, some type of way of being like, oh yeah, this dude's legit, because there's so many people in the industry that are trying to be in the industry or think they know the industry that label themselves as consultants. Yeah, fuck, there's so many of them. But yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've been. I mean, I can. I've dove into a couple of situations where somebody with some money wanted to get in the industry. Their friend knew the best grower on the planet, who was some basement grower who he buys weed from once a month, and he gets approached.
Self-proclaimed master grower. Yeah, we've heard about that.
Yeah. Every grower is the best grower on the planet. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's the best grower they know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somehow they made it all the way up to Alaska. Every single one of them. But yeah. So where was I going with that? Yeah. They would ask for like 150, 200K, and these people that were like, you know, willing to do that because it's a big investment. You can't be messing around with cannabis. Like, I mean, a decent sized grow. Even if you're looking at like a 2,000 square foot grow, like you're looking at a lot. Like, I mean, I'm gonna say $500,000, $1 million up front.
That's a big yield, yeah.
Easy. I mean, just to get started, and at least a year to go through the paperwork, permitting, the everything that has to happen in order for you to get going. Yeah.
That's good. I mean, so being so close to Canada, what Canadian ties do you have?
None.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you should probably make a couple of those.
Yeah, I should. I think you know. So the laws right now with cannabis, and once federal legalization happens, I think we'll be able to cross some borders with it. And I really don't like. I mean, I will participate in the state-by-state legalization effort.
Okay.
I am trying to transition to influencing the regulations for federal legalization, because that is coming, and I think it's the important thing. If you're in this for the long haul, and you set yourself up with some stuff, you spend all your assets or what you got, following the regulatory guidelines from an individual state. That's not necessarily what feds are going to do. There's potential a lot of money being spent for no for something that you're going to have to revamp anyway, you know. So it's man, am I coming in real dark?
Yeah, you're just a little dark. It's all right. I can still hear you. That's all that really matters. You know what I mean? There you go.
It's way too bright. Maybe. Sorry.
Oh, you're all right. You've dealt with this more than once. You know, I was looking at a U.S. Military study, you know, and back from 1916 to 1929, the U.S. military studied cannabis use among soldiers in the Panama Canal. They concluded that, and I quote, "No mental or physical deterioration effects of smoking marijuana could be demonstrated. But with this statement should be considered the fact that the soldiers observed here were young men who had smoked marijuana for an average of less than 2 years. The study also found that there were fewer problems from cannabis than alcohol."
Yep.
This was in 1916 to 1929. Where did that go?
Please send that to me.
Absolutely.
So I work with, like I said, I mentioned in the beginning, I mentioned earlier, the BAC. I don't know if I mentioned it while we were on, but the Veterans Action Council, and it's comprised of some very, very seasoned advocates for cannabis and real big. I mean, like, I'm always honored to be on the calls with these guys. And we've done some interesting things since we started. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Sean Worsley imprisonment. He got
yep. Speaking of imprisonment, you guys put your hands together. Michael Thompson just got out of prison this morning in Michigan. That's big news. That's big news.
Yeah.
Welcome home, Mike. Welcome home, buddy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and we're gonna see more of that hopefully. Yeah, so we had Sean's wife on a few times with us. We helped her coordinate some stuff, get like the parole letter together, and gave her legal counsel, and just helped her through the situation. We ended up really making an impact on him getting out and not doing the 60 months he was sentenced to. And then
because real talk, it's not methadone.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, no, he got asked for his vehicle to be searched at a gas station while he's filling up his car by an Alabama trooper or local cop. And he goes, yeah, well, I got my medicine in there, and it was his prescription cannabis from Arizona. So yeah, that was a fucked up situation. God damn.
You're all right, man. You're all right. That's the thing. So it's fine, man, because trust me, I sprinkle, the F word in a sentence like a comma. It's all good. People in the kitchen growing up as a cook and a chef, they don't take you serious unless you say it. So it's like an action verb, if you will,
Yeah.
But I want to circle back to something, if you don't mind.
No, go for it.
I understand you have a new puppy, Maximus. You have two sons, Trey and Odin, and your wife, Megan. Or is it Megan or Megan?
Megan.
Okay. Sometimes, you know what I mean? You got to check that.
Yeah.
Do you feel that, I can only imagine like your mindset back when you were going through the methadone issues and things of that nature, the things that you saw alone, man. An acclimation to civilian life is immensely difficult for people of armed forces, especially more so people that have seen active duty, you understand? And you did 3 tours, man. You know what I mean? 2, sorry. You went back in for more, that's the thing. And it's just like, holy shit, excuse my French, but that's going to be a hard acclimation back to your family life. Now, that being said, do you feel that like you're there like more for them now? You know what I mean? Or you can be a better person for them?
So that's a tricky question. It's not a tricky question.
I'm sorry.
No. Come on, man. This is your job is to ask questions that are worthwhile to ask. I think life has brought a new meaning to what I had, the thoughts I had of life prior to having a son. And it really put a lot of things in perspective. Like you can do everything in the world until you have something that is truly reliant on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's nothing like have Marines like that voluntarily showed up at a military processing station swear their lives to the Constitution. It's a whole other thing watching this person get born. It's like, it doesn't matter what you're doing at any given moment. Like, you are responsible to that little human, that little person.
I had a buddy. Sorry for interrupting, but he battle buddies in the whole nine, and he went through alcoholism too, and I helped get him out of it. That's all the credit that I'm taking from that situation right there. He did the rest of it himself, and he told me, he goes, "Bud, I'll tell you this." He was a Marine. I don't remember his
is a Marine.
I apologize. I'm sorry. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Yeah, that's my bad. But he is a Marine. He's not in active duty anymore, is really what I was trying to say. But he did 3 tours. Right, yeah. No, he did 3 tours, and on his 3rd tour, he lost his battle buddy. He lost, his right-hand man, if you will, and it messed him up, man. And he told me, he goes, "Listen, bud, if I could tell you anything important to know about from the outside looking in, know this. You join the armed services for the service of your country and to protect your family back home. You go into the front line, to protect everybody that you love back home and people that you don't even know. That's sacrificing right there." He goes, "When you come back, why do we push ourselves to try and destroy the one thing, that can protect them still? You know what I mean? Why do we destroy ourselves to protect that family that we love about?" And dude, that hit me deep. When he said that hit me deep, because it's like, being a chef, that's exactly what we do. We obsess over, we become this grind. We become these assholes, these toxic individuals that just are self-deteriorating. That's very similar to like a reacclimation, from military life, to being a civilian, if you will. Yeah. I said that because the guy that did the 3 tours, he is one of the best chefs that I know, one of the best cooks that I know. He's never a chef, is what he's gonna say. I'm a Marine first. That's what he would say. But damn, can that boy cook? And it's interesting because I learned a lot from him. I would love to absolutely put you guys together. As a matter of fact, absolutely, I'm actually coming out to Denali soon.
You are?
I am. We totally got to meet up, man, because I'll cook you something. How's that?
I'm hold on one second. I got to plug my computer, but
You're all right.
I'm an hour north of Denali. I can almost see it.
That's awesome, man. I mean, because I got some friends that are when season opens back up and COVID lifts its nasty fangs out of our flesh here, if you will. I hate COVID. I really do. But they're moving from Colorado up to Denali, and when it opens up like that, when it opens up to more tourism and stuff like, they're gonna just be killing it.
Alaska didn't really shut down.
Oh, they did? Well, it's freezing up there.
It's a big yeah, no, it's cold, but I'm inside with my B&B right now. B&B there with me and the lady. But we got asked to once we had Odin, we got asked to by some close friends of mine who are also, I'm pretty sure they still have the largest greenhouse grow in Alaska. I mean, in size, they still have their cannabis grow, but so this is a tourist destination. It's actually a little, to my knowledge, very highly rated. I was sitting on fire with a guest. I was like starting a bonfire for him. And I'm like, "What brings you up here?" They're like, "Well, actually, this place." And I'm like, "What the hell are you doing coming up here for, when you're involved with something, it's hard to realize how, unique it is unless somebody like reminds you." And you guys are like the #1 place to like go to in Fairbanks, or like to stay at in Fairbanks. So I'm like, wow, right. All right. We have the Northern Lights here. 2 days ago was incredible.
Yeah, I saw those pictures because we were talking what was like a week ago, and you sent me that picture. I was like, "That's insane, dude."
That was nothing compared to the other day. Like, I tried going live on Facebook with it, but Facebook only goes to 720, so you can't see anything.
It doesn't do it justice.
No, like I'm looking at this, like it's just like the whole sky is like a river of purple and red and green like swirls and just incredible.
Let's do this right now live, okay? I'm gonna come stay at your B&B, all right? Because now I know I can smoke there. So you make sure I got a bed for my head, and I'll cook while we're there. And you and I'll bring a production crew, and we'll go outside, in the Northern Lights, and we'll have a little session right there, bro.
Here, you think this is, let's see, is this decent for you? I don't know how clean it is in here, but...
Oh, that's more than I need, dude. That's beautiful. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that. Is that, no, that's gas stove tops?
Yeah.
All I need. That's all I need. That's all I need, man. I cannot do. My girlfriend has the flat top, and I can't with the electric ones. I can't do it.
The convection stove or something.
It's gorgeous, man. I just saw that main center beam.
Oh
yeah, that's gorgeous. Oh,
so I'm doing some work in here, so it's kind of messy, but
that looks so good.
Taking advantage of it while we don't have guests, but. Yeah,
that's oh my God. Yes, I can't. I got to do it. I got to do it now, because I think about like if I bring some 4K cameras, and we have them already at Deliciously Dope Studios here, we can get some good footage of the Northern Lights and make it worth it. You feel me?
Oh yeah. She doesn't always dance though. She comes out when she wants to.
Oh, we can try. We can try. I was gonna say because. I know some people up there that can get, and this is hilarious, but we can get the Northern Lights strain up there.
Oh yeah, I got it.
They're done.
I got Manuscript Thunderfuck. I got Manuscript Thunderfuck crossed with Black River or Black Russian crossed with Hell's Angels. I'm getting LSD up here soon. I'm taking over I'll put it this way. I'm assisting in a cultivation and manufacturing company that actually assisted in building about 3 years ago. So it's a large standard grow operation. They're putting in a new building there. So they have a 2,000 square foot grow right now, and the other building's getting completed now. So I think it's adding another 3,000 square feet to the cultivation. Then they have a manufacturing company on site, along with my last company, Malamute. So I'm getting pulled back into that, which I'm pretty excited about. My brother, who's the other Marine in the family, he's the lead grower there. So. Yeah,
I'd love to take a look at that. Seriously, it's. I know it's weird when because I grow personally here. Here you can grow personal. You can have up to 12 plants without anything. Right.
Okay. Yeah. It is 77 license with a caregiver or if you're a patient, something like that.
Right. It's like 72 or something. It's some kind of 70 number, yeah. Yeah. With so many different, patients and whatnot, you can do that. But I ain't messing with all that because I do have my card, but I don't want to. I have my medical marijuana card. I am a patient. I'm a card-carrying patient. But really, the only benefit is you can carry more with you personally, so that's great. I'm good with that. Yeah. Exponentially more concentrates, which. I'm good with that because I just started dabbing. So speaking of which, you should definitely go pick up some Asher's Finest rosin. I'll make sure I can get you some because it's made by veterans for veterans.
Awesome.
So it's amazing, dude. He turned me on to it. He's like, let me teach you how to dab. And he did. Whew. Let me tell you. But it works. But my point is I got it basically because it's just like a glorified Costco card for me. From where I'm looking at it, I want the discount. I want the good stuff at the dispensaries if and when they have it, because every so often they do. Anything by Redemption Cannabis, definitely go pick it up. You see anything by Crystalline or Delta 8 Savvy, go pick it up. That's my point. Every so often to support local friends, I have my card to help them. In addition to, I could grow more, but I live with my girlfriend and I don't want her to get in trouble. So we're just growing her 12. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So where I was getting with that, sorry. is I'm not going to go into, my flowering girls and then walk into your shit. Like, that's just, don't do that. You know what I mean? Because you don't know who's got male plants or not.
No, yeah, there's scrub procedures and stuff.
Good.
There's that you could potentially take out a whole
crop. It happened. It happened to one of my friends. It sucks. He had that 70-something plants.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's I've lost a whole crop before. I made a mistake of leaving the state for like 2 weeks right before, like right when the ladies were about to start, like we're ready. I think I timed it where like the trichomes would be getting amber by the time I got back. But I get back, it's just a fucking room of spider webs. Not actually.
Oh no.
And yeah, I should have just lit the whole house on fire and just sat in the middle of the room while I did it, but I didn't.
I'm glad you didn't. But it
was
that's devastating, dude.
Oh hell yeah, that was like, and I had a significant amount. I mean, 6 plants in Alaska,
Right.
But yeah, so I really appreciate the recreational cannabis market because we don't have to sign up for anything. We're not on any list. We're not any. There's no. You can't really justify you can't be held accountable for like purchasing a firearm and saying that you're not cannabis or something.
Right.
But that's something that's coming to light right now. There's a senator in Maryland or Virginia right now putting in a bill to exclude cannabis as a narcotic for when you buy firearms.
Right.
Which
I think is smart.
Yeah, I mean it's you're okay if you're all Xannied out and that's the only thing that you do, and a doctor you be an alcoholic and be using Xanax on a regular basis from a doctor's prescription and go in and buy a firearm. But go ahead.
Sorry, an image popped into my head. I'll explain in a second. I want you to finish.
Well, you can't if you're recommended by a doctor to use cannabis for I don't smoke during the day typically. I had socially if there's a reason to smoke.
Right.
But it's mainly night to go to sleep or appetite issues.
As a medicinal purpose, exactly.
Yeah, it's medicine to me. It's life, really, professional life, and because I know people, I used it to get. I used to round off the Veterans Court thing was I used cannabis to get off the heroin and all the drugs. I literally couldn't get into rehab through the VA, so I for about 3 or 4 weeks, I locked myself in my apartment and just smoked a bunch of weed to counteract the withdrawal, the feeling of death, and it relieved me enough to allow me to get through it. And that saved my life.
Good. I'm fucking glad, man.
And so I know how important it is for the well-being of others, and that's why I'm so dedicated to the substance thing being legalized, being available to anybody. You should be prescribed to. You should be able to take a hit from a bong or something. Before they even prescribe you Motrin.
Oh, 100%.
Bread is more dangerous.
It's funny you should, exactly. And it's funny you should say that because, when I look back, I'm writing a book, obviously. Hey, I'll get you the audiobook, but, they're actually, we've been talking to people about the audiobook as far as my book, and they do want me to record it and read it. And I was like, all right, screw it. You know what I mean?
Good. It's always better when the author does it.
Yeah. Because I know, and it's interesting because I go back and I change it in the whole 9. But I actually use the term baptized by bong water.
There you go.
Yeah, that was really nice. But so to circle back on the firearms thing, Second Amendment being a huge thing here in America that I agree with. I own a firearm. I own more than one. And you know why I own them? To protect my medicine and protect my house. You want to come up on my crib uninvited and we going to have an issue. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I've been disciplined. You feel me? My dad taught me the business end, you don't point it at somebody unless you intend, bodily harm.
Yeah.
My dad, Halo jumped into Panama to stop Noriega and the drug cartels down there. That's my point.
That's Operation Just Cause, I believe.
I can't tell you that. I can't say anything.
It's Operation Just Cause.
But he's hardcore. You understand? When I was in high school, he had me running because we used to live near Lake Lansing. For those of you who know that, it's quite big. I don't remember how many miles it was. He'd be like, "All right, cool, check it out. You want to do your chores? Get up." He'd get me at 0300 and make me run it. He was training. We were training for the military. Unfortunately, some things happened, so I went. I followed my mom's route and went being a chef. But in my mind, with the firearms, I look at it this way. I've been to the South and I've been hunting with people that carry multiple firearms for a deer. You don't need that. You need a rifle. That's it. Now, when you're hunting wild boars, that's a different story. But the deer ain't going to run at you. You know what I'm saying? Like a wild boar will. You can stop the deer. The point is, I've seen people fully loaded to the nines, and then they got a case of beer with them.
Yeah.
That's a scarier image to me than a pothead with a handgun. You feel me?
Oh, absolutely. Alcohol.
That's my point.
Alcohol is the worst substance known to man.
Absolutely.
There's I like my whiskey, but that's you got it's a way checks and balances thing, or you gotta be able to deserve it. In my opinion, and so I have a next month Concealed Carry magazine has I'm in a featured article with them.
Nice.
They actually came up here and they stayed here, did interviews and
a little expose.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have a private range here that I built. I was hoping to get out there last night, but it's Wolf Moon. The Wolf Moon was last night, the first moon of the year. I mean,
okay.
I'm always. I was going after the wolves that are here recently because my other dog went missing.
No.
Yeah, this dog, me and him don't get along very well. Not that
it ain't the same.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's a 2-year-old running towards me. Hey, dude, what are you doing? I'll be up. He's not gonna listen to me.
He's all right. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and just let you go take care of what you got to take care of, because that kid right there, anything he wants to do is more important than anything we got to say. You feel me?
Yeah. Could I elaborate a little bit on the
Absolutely. Hey, buddy.
Say hi.
Push it. We really can't see him, buddy. A little dark. Let me. Yeah.
Say
hi. Hi. Look at him.
The whole family too now. So Lansing Project is something I've been working on for about a year now.
Yep.
Yeah. So I got approached by a gentleman that's now the CEO of the Alaska Veterans Foundation, and he's like, "Well, I've submitted something to the school board trying to get the unions hooked up with students that wanted to get into blue collar jobs after high school, a mentoring program to do like a tiny homes project in order to push them out to the homeless population or veterans transitioning from the military." And so I got approached, and they're like, "Well, we got this 54-acre property up in North Pole, right down the road from Santa Claus's house.
Right.
And we were wondering if you wanted to head it up and make a a transitional housing project to help with the homelessness issue locally, because 2K Bob, thanks. Because it's an issue. I mean, last year it was under. I think we had 44 days under 25 below zero, so it was like,
oh man,
deadly, all the time, and so. It's a big property. It's got a 17-acre lake on it. And my
with a celebrity as a neighbor.
Santa's cool. Santa, he comes to all the cannabis events. He's odd, except for one day a year where he works a lot that day.
Yeah.
But he's on the.
I'm convinced that Santa Claus is Rick Naya.
Oh man, maybe. Yeah. I was talking to Rick today.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. Me and Rick have an interesting relationship. He is. He's a very good dude. I'm trying to. We went. Shut the door. It's from below. So I'm working on a project in Massachusetts, and so that's something that I've been talking to Ray over. Brought me on to something about a year ago. But so we're looking to do agriculture program. We're linked up with the University of Fairbanks Department of Agriculture, the Cold Weather Research Housing Project, and we're doing is research, workforce development, job training, camaraderie stuff, all types of cool stuff from in a place where not many get to come and to do a lot of stuff that not many get to do. So it's I think it's going to be good for the entire community. The board of directors okayed the cannabis grow for me too, which is going to have to be
The reason that I ask about the Hansen project is dude, that's I think that's a prestigious thing to do. I think it's amazing. I think it's a good it's a good use of what we can do. You feel me? A good direction we're going in. A win-win situation if you want. That being said, I do know little birdie told me that you're going to be on the Here We Grow with Danica next Tuesday in Canada. Mm-hmm. That's going to be one hell of a show because trust me, once you get her talking about growing hemp or growing cannabis or anything agricultural, man, that little girl will tell you. You feel me? She's like, I'm joking. She'll beat my ass. But the point is, it's going to be an awesome show.
She is my Canada connection.
Absolutely. And I can't commend you enough for having served our country, man. Thank you. You fight for the rights and freedoms. You know what I'm saying? I'm right there with you. Cannabis should be right there with you. So if you ever need me, like I said, man, before, you got my number. Let's get this. I'm also going to take you up on that, and my ass will be. I got to make a Canadian and Alaskan tour. Like it's just, I got a lot of places to go, and now you're on the list.
No, get up here. Absolutely. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. That's,
absolutely. I'm gonna be. I'll probably end up bringing my dad with me. He likes snow. You guys will have a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? He'll tell you about Panama. I'm sure you guys could at least shake hands. You feel me? So I would love that, man.
This is it's a very the B&B here is it's it feels like home. That's what everybody says, and it's either like you can interact with us or not. It doesn't matter. So get up here.
I look forward to seeing you, man. I do. Thank you. It's amazing. But Pearson, I am excited to hear more about the Hansen project. I am excited to hear more about, everything that you're doing, dude. After reading your bio, I don't get intimidated to interview people. I normally don't. I read your bio and I was just like, okay, you know what I mean? I was like, what do I have to bring to the table? But that's just it, man. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. And it does. Seeing people like you doing what you do, having been through what you've been through, makes my story worth it. Does that make sense? Like it's a different perspective of life, but we're trying to see the same end result. Dude, thank you again, man, for your service to our country, and thank you for coming on the show and sharing it with people today.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely, man. Now, we've reached another end of Deliciously Dope's Daily Chronicles. I'm Chef Rodney 117. To all my tokers and jokers and smokers out there, thank you again. To Pearson, dude, seriously, thank you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.